All right, food fanatics, welcome to the wildest, tastiest, most epic 45-minute adventure your taste buds have ever dreamed of. Buckle up, grab a snack, maybe a stretchy waistband, because we're diving headfirst into the insane, incredible, downright delicious world of Chinese food. And trust me, this isn't your let's grab some greasy takeout and call a night kind of vibe. No. This is a flavor explosion so big it'll make your mouth dance and your stomach rumble louder than A. Thunderstorm over the Great Wall. Those sizzling, steaming, drool-worthy visuals flashing across your screen right now. That's just a teaser of what's coming. And I'm here to keep you locked in with laughs, stories, and some spicy showdowns against Korean, Japanese, Indian, and a whole crew of other cuisines that'll have you giggling, drooling, and smashing that like button before we even hit the 5-minute mark. So, quick vibe check to kick us off. Are you a chopstick champ or a fumbler like me? Accidentally flinging rice at your cat? Drop your answer in the comments, because we're bonding over this food frenzy, and I need to know who's with me. Now, Chinese food's a beast, a flavor empire stretching from snowy peaks to sweaty streets. And we're breaking it down into 10 killer categories to feast on. Number 1, cooking techniques where woks turn into flamethrowers and chefs flip ingredients like kung fu stars. Number 2, spice and heat, with chilies so fierce they'll make you sweat like you're running from a tiger. Number 3, dumplings and dough, those little pockets of joy that'll have you dreaming of doughy hugs. Number 4, noodles, long, slurpy strands that could double as a jump rope. Number 5, street food, the fast, loud, alleyway party you didn't know you needed. Number 6, rice, the unsung hero holding every meal together. Number 7, meat mastery, where pork, beef, and more get the royal treatment. Number 8, seafood, fish and shrimp swimming in flavor. Number 9, sweets and desserts, sticky treats that sneak up on your sweet tooth. And number 10, soups and broths, liquid love in every spoonful. We'll stack these up against Korean barbecue, Japanese sushi, Indian curries, and more, with humor like spice so it's a dragon sneeze, and questions like chopsticks or fork, to keep you chatting in the comments. So, what's your hype level? Drop a fire emoji if you're ready. Hit subscribe if you're new. And let's dive into this Chinese food extravaganza. Category 1. Here we come. All right, food warriors, we've landed at Category 1. Cooking techniques. And holy smokes, this is where Chinese food flexes its muscles, straps on its ninja gear, and turns the kitchen into a battlefield of flavor. So get ready to have your mind blown and your appetite cranked to 11. Those visuals flashing across your screen right now. They're probably showing some wild action, flames licking the sides of a wok, ingredients flipping through the air like they're auditioning for a martial arts movie, and that's just the warm-up. Chinese cooking techniques are like a high-octane circus, a symphony of sizzle, steam, and speed that'll make you wonder why your stovetop isn't spitting fire like a dragon on a rampage. Let's start with the wok, because that's the undisputed king of the Chinese kitchen. Imagine this giant, curved metal beast sitting over a blaze so hot it could melt your eyebrows, and the chef's tossing veggies, meat, and sauces in there like a juggler on a caffeine high. It's not just cooking, it's a performance, a culinary kung fu showdown where every flip and stir is a power move. Compare that to Korean cooking for a sec, because Korea's got its own vibe with grilling, where you're chilling at the table, flipping pork belly or beef ribs over a little grill, sipping soju with your crew. It's social, it's relaxed, like a barbecue party where everyone's in on the action. But Chinese wok frying is a solo sprint, a chef going full throttle, flames roaring, ingredients dancing, and in like 2 minutes flat, bam, you've got a plate of crispy, saucy goodness that's ready to rock. Japan's got its own technique game, and it's the total opposite. Think of a sushi chef with a knife so sharp it could split a hair, slicing fish with the precision of a samurai. Every move slow, deliberate, like a meditation session. Chinese cooking's like a rock concert, loud and chaotic, while Japan's serving up a quiet symphony. Both amazing, just different energies. Now let's swing over to India, because Indian cooking techniques are like a Bollywood blockbuster. Take the tandoor, this clay oven that's basically a spice-fueled volcano, roasting whole chickens or slabs of lamb with a marinade so bold it could wake up a coma patient, all smoky and charred. Chinese woks might be fast and furious, but India's tandoor is slow and intense, building flavor like a plot twist you didn't see coming. So, quick poll, what's your cooking style? Are you a wok-flipping ninja or more of a chill griller? Drop it in the comments because I'm dying to know who's out here channeling their inner chef. Let's zoom in on stir-frying because that's the heartbeat of Chinese wok magic. Picture this, oil hits the pan, it's popping like fireworks. Then in go the garlic, ginger, maybe some chilies, and the air fills with this aroma that's so good you'd bottle it if you could. Veggies go next, bright green and snapping. Then meat, maybe some pork or chicken. Sizzling so loud it's like a drum. So low, and the chef's tossing it all with a flick of the wrist, keeping everything moving so it's crisp, not soggy. It's speed and heat in perfect harmony. Korea's got its own stir-fry game, like with the kalbi, where chicken and veggies get tossed with spicy red paste. But it's heavier, stickier, more of a slow burn. Japan's teppanyaki is closer, with chefs flipping shrimp and rice on a flat grill. But it's theatrical, showy, less about raw speed. India's got tawa cooking, where veggies and spices sizzle on a flat pan, but it's earthier, less frantic. Chinese stir-fry is the Usain Bolt of cooking, all about that lightning pace. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever tried stir-frying and ended up with a kitchen disaster? I have food on the ceiling, total chaos. Tell me your kitchen fails below, because we're bonding over this. Let's talk steaming next, because Chinese steaming is like the gentle giant of techniques. Imagine bamboo baskets stacked high, steam swirling like a mystical fog. And inside you've got buns so fluffy they're basically pillows, or fish so tender falls apart with a nudge. It's light, it's clean, it's flavor without the grease. Korea's got steaming too, like with mandu dumplings, but it's less of a star, more of a sidekick. Japan's steaming game is strong with chawanmushi, this silky egg custard that's like eating a cloud, but it's fancier, more delicate. India doesn't lean on steaming much. They're too busy frying pakoras or simmering curries, but China's steaming is a workhorse, turning simple ingredients into gold. And those visuals? Probably some steamy goodness that's making you hungry. Let's hit braising because Chinese braising is where patience meets payoff. Picture a pot simmering for hours, pork belly or beef shank drowning in soy, star anise, and maybe a splash of rice wine, until it's so tender you could cut it with a spoon. It's rich, it's deep, it's comfort in every bite. Korea's got braised dishes like galbajim, beef ribs and a sweet. Soy mix, sticky and hearty. Japan's got nikujiga, a beef and potato stew that's homey but lighter. India's korma is the braising champ, creamy with nuts and spices, but Chinese braising has this dark, glossy swagger. Oh, and what's your comfort food go-to? Braised meat or something else? Hit me up. Now let's talk roasting because Chinese roasting is a crispy, golden dream. Imagine a duck or pork slab hanging in an oven, skin crackling like glass, meat juicy underneath, glazed with honey or maltose. It's a slow roast that ends in a flavor explosion. Korea's grilling is more hands-on. Japan's yakitori is quick and simple. India's tandoori roasting is smoky and spiced. Chinese roasting is a showstopper. And those visuals, probably some crispy perfection. Let's talk deep frying because Chinese frying is a crunch fest. Spring rolls, fried chicken, anything golden and snappy. Korea's got twijim, battered goodies. Japan's tempura is light as air. India's pakoras are spice bombs. China's frying is bold and loud. Quick check, crunchy food fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's hit boiling because Chinese soups and noodles owe everything to a good boil. Broth simmering with bones, spices bubbling, noodles diving in. Korea's got kalguksu, Japan's adon. India's not big on boiling. China's boiling is foundational. And those visuals? Probably a steamy pot. Let's talk knife skills because Chinese chefs wield cleavers like swords. Chopping, slicing, smashing, it's art. Japan's got precision knives. Korea's less flashy, India's chopping is rustic. China's cleaver is king. Your kitchen tool fave? Tell me. Now let's wrap this because Chinese techniques are a flavor arsenal. Wok frying speed, steaming's grace, braising's depth, Korea's grilling, Japan's slicing, India's roasting. China's got it all. And those visuals, proof in the pudding. So what's your fave technique? Drop it below, hit that like, and let's roll to category 2. All right, food daredevils. We're rolling into category 2, spice and heat. And buckle up because this is where Chinese food straps on its fiery boots, grabs a fistful of chilies, and kicks your taste buds into overdrive. So if you're the type who thinks ketchup's spicy, you might want to brace yourself. Those visuals blazing across your screen right now, they're probably showing a dish so red hot, it looks like it could melt steel. Chilies glowing like embers, steam rising like a warning signal. And that's just the appetizer. Chinese spice isn't messing around. It's a full-on flavor assault that'll make you sweat like you're running from a kung fu master with a vendetta. And trust me, it's a chase worth losing. Let's start with the heavy hitters because Chinese cuisine's got regions that live for the burn. Imagine a bowl of something so packed with dried chilies it's like a Red Sea. Peppercorns buzzing on your tongue like tiny electric shocks. And oil so spicy it's practically glowing. Compare that to Korean food for a hot second, because Korea is bringing its own fire with gochujang, that red pepper paste that's like spicy lava in a jar, slathered on everything from rice cakes to chicken. It's bold, it's sticky, it's a slow burn that builds until you're fanning your mouth. Chinese spice, though, it's a sprint, hitting you fast and hard with a 1-2 punch of heat and tingle. Then there's Japan. Oh boy, Japan's the sneaky ninja of spice, slipping in wasabi that punches your sinuses like a surprise uppercut, or a sprinkle of shikimi that's like a polite kick to the tongue. Chinese heat's louder, rowdier, like a dragon sneezing fire into your bowl, while Japan's whispering, "Feel this," and walking away. Now, let's swing over to India because Indian spice is the undisputed heavyweight champ. Think chilies so fierce they could star in an action movie, blended with cumin, coriander, and turmeric into curries that'll make you cry tears of joy and beg for more. Chinese spice might lean on chilies and peppercorns, but India is throwing the whole spice rack at you. And I'm here for every sweaty bite, so quick poll. Who's your spice king? Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indian, or are you secretly vibing with something wild like Thai? Drop it in the comments because I need to know who's ready for this heat wave. Let's zoom in on those peppercorns because Chinese cuisine's got this secret weapon that's pure magic. Imagine these little green or brown nuggets tossed into a dish and suddenly your tongue's buzzing like it's plugged into a socket. It's not just hot, it's tingly, a sensation so weird and awesome you'll wonder if you've unlocked a new taste bud. Korea's got nothing like it. They're too busy with red pepper flakes. Japan's got sansho, a cousin that tingles too, but it's rarer, more refined. India's black pepper kicks hard, but it's a straight burn, no buzz. Chinese peppercorns are the party crashers, turning spice into a roller coaster. Oh, and quick. Confession, have you ever bitten into something so spicy you questioned your life choices? I have. Lips numb, total chaos. Spill your spicy disasters below, because we're bonding over this burn. Let's talk chili oil because that's the liquid gold of Chinese heat. Picture a jar of deep red oil, chilies swimming in it like little firebombs, spooned over noodles or dumplings, and suddenly every bite's a thrill ride. It's smoky, it's oily, it's a flavor grenade. Korea's got sesame oil with spice, but it's milder, smoother. Japan's ryu is chili oil's shy cousin, a drizzle here and there. India's got tadka, oil with spices popped hot, but it's earthier, less in your face. Chinese chili oil's the bad boy, daring you to take another bite. And those visuals? Probably some oily red goodness that's torturing me. Let's hit fresh chilies because Chinese dishes love throwing in the raw stuff. Imagine green or red peppers, chopped and tossed into a wok, sizzling until they blister, adding a bright, sharp heat. Korea's got fresh peppers too, like in kimchi jjigae, but they're tamed by fermentation. Japan's shishito peppers are a gamble, 1 in 10 spicy. India's green chilies are everywhere, raw and brutal. Chinese fresh chilies are a quick jab, fast and fierce. Oh, and what's your heat tolerance? Mild, medium, or bring it on? Tell me. Now let's talk dried chilies because Chinese cuisine's obsessed. Picture a pile of wrinkled red devils, stir-fried until they're smoky and dark, infusing. Everything with a deep, slow burn. Korea's dried flakes are a staple. Japan's togarashi is a blend. India's dried chilies are curry backbone. Chinese dried chilies are the stars, not the backup. Those visuals? Probably a red-hot pile. Let's hit spicy pastes because Chinese fermented bean paste with chilies is a game changer. Thick, salty, spicy, it's a flavor bomb. Korea's gochujang is sweeter. Japan's miso can spice up. India's chutneys are tangy. Chinese paste is gritty and bold. Quick check spicy. Pace fans, where you at? Drop a fire emoji. Let's talk balance because Chinese heat isn't just pain. It's paired with sweet, sour, salty, like a spicy harmony. Korea's spice leans sweet, Japan's subtle, India's complex. China's a spice orchestra. And those visuals? Probably a balanced burn. Let's hit regional spice because China's got hot zones. Think Sichuan with its chili peppercorn duo, Hunan with its smoky kick. Korea's spice is nationwide, Japan's rare, India's everywhere. China's regional heat is wild. Your fave spicy region. Tell me. Now let's wrap this because Chinese spice is a flavor beast. Peppercorns tingle, chilies burn, oil glows, Korea's sticky, Japan's sneaky, India's fierce. China's got heat for days. And those visuals? Proof of the fire. So what's your spice limit? Drop it below, hit that like, and let's blaze into category 3. All right, food champs, we're kneading our way into category 3, dumplings and dough, and oh boy, this is where Chinese food wraps up its magic, stuffs it into little pockets of perfection, and serves it with a side of pure joy. So get ready to drool, laugh, and maybe even dream of quitting your day job to become a dumpling wizard. Those visuals spinning across your screen right now, they're probably showing some doughy miracles. Hands folding wrappers like origami ninjas, steam rising like a mystical cloud, or maybe a golden crust sizzling in a pan. And that's just the warm-up. Chinese dumplings and dough are the MVPs of comfort food, the superheroes of the kitchen that can make you sigh with happiness or crunch with delight. And trust me, once you've had a taste, there's no going back. Let's start with dumplings because these little bundles are the rock stars of Chinese cuisine. Imagine a thin wrapper, stretched just right, hugging a filling of pork so juicy it's practically winking. At you, shrimp so plump it's flexing, or veggies so fresh they snap, and then bam, you bite in and it's a flavor party in your mouth. Compare that to Korean food for a sec because Korea's got mandu, these plump dumplings that come steamed or pan-fried, stuffed with meat or kimchi, like little hugs of doughy goodness. Chinese dumplings, though, they've got range. They're the multitaskers. Steamed until silky, boiled until chewy, fried until they crackle, or even soupy with a bra surprise that spills out like a delicious secret. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan's gyoza are the crispy cousins, pan-fried to a golden snap, served with a soy dip that's simple but perfect. Chinese dumplings are louder, wilder, like a festival in every bite, while Japan's keeping it cool and collected. Now, let's swing over to India because India's samosas are the crunchy rebels of the dough world. Flaky pastry stuffed with spiced potatoes, peas, or meat, paired with chutneys that hit you with tangy, spicy vibes. Chinese dumplings might lean on soy and ginger, but India's samosas are throwing a spice parade. So quick poll, what's your dumpling style? Steamed, fried, or soupy? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's riding this dough train with me. Let's zoom in on the wrappers because Chinese dumpling dough is pure art. Picture this, flour and water mixed into a ball, rolled so thin you could read a newspaper through it, but tough enough to hold a mountain of filling. It's a balancing act. Korea's mandu wrappers are thicker, built for heft. Japan's gyoza wrappers are delicate, crisp up like champs. India's samosa dough is flakier, oilier, a different beast. Chinese wrappers are the Goldilocks of dough, just right. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever tried making dumplings and ended up with a gluey mess? I have. Dough everywhere, total disaster. Spill your dumpling fails below. Because we're bonding over this, let's talk steamed buns because Chinese dough's got more. Tricks. Imagine these fluffy pillows steamed until they're light as clouds, stuffed with barbecue pork or veggies. So soft you'd nap on them if they weren't so tasty. Korea's got nothing quite like it. Japan's nikamon are close, but less saucy. India's stuffed parathas are flatter, spicier. Chinese buns are the kings of fluff, and those visuals. Probably some steamy bun heaven. Let's hit fried dough because Chinese frying is a crunch fest. Think youtiao, these long, golden sticks, crispy outside, chewy inside, perfect for dipping. Korea's got hotteok, sweet fried pancakes. Japan's tempura dough is lighter, India's pure as puff up. Chinese fried dough is bold and loud. Quick check, crunchy dough fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk noodles in dough form because Chinese ramen are hand-pulled wonders. Picture dough stretched in a strand so long, they could lasso a cow, boiled until chewy. Korea's kalguksu is knife cut. Japan's udon is thick. India's not big on this. Chinese noodle dough is a performance. And those visuals? Probably some pulling magic. Let's hit baked dough because Chinese mooncakes are a festive flex. Flaky, dense, stuffed with sweet paste or yolk, they're art. Korea's got rice cakes. Japan's melon buns are cute. India's naan is simpler. Chinese baked dough shines. Oh, and what's your sweet dough vibe? Tell me. Now let's talk stuffing because Chinese dough loves a surprise. Pork, shrimp, chives, even soup. It's a treasure chest. Korea's mandu has meat. Japan's gyoza has garlic. India's samosas have spice. Chinese stuffing is endless. And those visuals, probably a stuffed delight. Let's hit shaping because Chinese dough gets fancy. Pleats, twists, buns like flowers. Korea's simpler. Japan's precise. India's rustic. Chinese shaping is craft. Your fave shape? Drop it. Now let's wrap this because Chinese dumplings and dough are a flavor empire. Wrappers hug, buns fluff, dough fries. Korea's hearty. Japan's crisp, India's spicy. China's got it all. And those visuals, proof in the dough. So what's your dough love? Drop it below. Hit that like, and let's roll to category 4. All right, food adventurers, we're slurping our way into category 4. Noodles and holy chopsticks. This is where Chinese food stretches its doughy arms, dives into a pot, and comes out with strands of pure magic. So grab a bowl, maybe a napkin, because things are about to get messy and marvelous. Those visuals twirling across your screen right now, they're probably showing some noodle wizardry, strands flying like ribbons in the wind, broth bubbling like a witch's cauldron, or a pile of saucy goodness that's begging for a slurp. And that's just the opening act. Chinese noodles are the rock stars of the carb world, the stretchy, chewy, slippery heroes that can make you weak in the knees or set your tongue on fire. And trust me, once you've tangled with these, spaghetti night's gonna feel like a downgrade. Let's kick it off with the classics because Chinese noodles are a universe unto themselves. Imagine strands so long they could double as a jump rope, pulled by hand until they're thin as thread, boiled until they're chewy, then swimming in a broth so fragrant it's like a hug from the inside out. Compare that to Korean food for a hot SEC, because Korea's got japchae, those glassy sweet potato noodles stir-fried with veggies and soy, slippery and sweet like a noodle dance party. Chinese noodles, though, they've got range. They're the marathon runners, boiled in soup, tossed with sauce, fried until they crunch. Every region's got a twist. Then there's Japan. Oh boy, Japan's ramen is the noodle king. Broth so deep, it's like a novel. Noodles springy and perfect. Chinese noodles are wilder, messier, like a street band jamming, while Japan's playing a polished symphony. Now, let's swing over to India because India's Hakka noodles are the Indo-Chinese rebels. Stir-fried with masala, veggies, and soy, they're spicy and bold. Chinese noodles might lean on ginger and garlic, but India's throwing a curry party. So quick poll, what's your noodle vibe? Soupy, saucy, or fried? Drop it in the comments because I need to know who's slurping with me. Let's zoom in on hand-pulled noodles because this is Chinese dough sorcery. Picture a ball of flour and water, stretched and twisted in the air like a magician's trick until it's a pile of strands, so even you'd swear it's witchcraft. It's chewy, it's fresh, it's a performance. Korea's kalguksu is knife cut, thicker, simpler. Japan's soba is hand-rolled but thinner. Nutty. India's not pulling dough like this. Chinese hand-pulled. Noodles are a flex. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever tried slurping noodles and ended up with sauce on your face? I have. Total mess. Spill your noodle fails below because we're bonding. Let's talk noodle soups because Chinese broths are soul food. Imagine a pot simmering with bones, star anise, and scallions. Noodles diving in, soaking up flavor until every slurp's a revelation. Korea's naengmyeon is cold, tangy. Japan's udon is thick, cozy. India's got raisin with noodles sometimes. Chinese noodle soup is a warm blanket. And those visuals? Probably a steamy bowl. Let's hit stir-fried noodles because Chinese wok magic shines. Noodles tossed with oil, soy, maybe chilies, veggies snapping, meat sizzling. It's fast, it's loud. Korea's japchae is sweeter. Japan's yakisoba is saucy. India's chow mein is spicier. Chinese stir-fry is a flavor riot. Quick check, stir-fry fans. Where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk fried noodles because Chinese crispy noodles are a crunch fest. Think strands. Fried golden, topped with sauce or veggies. Korea's got Twijim vibes. Japan's yakisoba snaps. India's sev pori crunches. Chinese fried noodles are bold. Oh, and what's your crunch level? Tell me. Now let's hit rice noodles because Chinese rice noodles are slippery stars, wide, flat, or thin, stir-fried, or souped. Korea's not big on rice noodles. Japan's got somen. India's idiyappam is steamed. Chinese rice noodles slide everywhere. And those visuals? Probably a slippery delight. Let's talk noodle. Sauces because Chinese noodles live for them. Soy, oyster, chili oil, they cling. Korea's gochujang, Japan's tear, India's masala. Chinese sauces are deep. Your fave sauce. Drop it. Now let's wrap this because Chinese noodles are a carb empire. Pulled, soup fried. Korea's sweet. Japan's precise. India's spicy. China's got it all. And those visuals? Noodle proof, so what's your noodle of? Drop it below. Hit that like. And let's roll to category 5. All right, food explorers, we're hustling into category 5, street food. And hold on to your forks because this is where Chinese food throws on its sneakers, hits the alleyways, and serves up a party so wild it'll make your taste buds dance like they're a rave. Those visuals popping across your screen right now. They're probably showing a griddle sizzling like it's alive, skewers smoking over coals, or a crepe flipping faster than a street magician's card trick. And that's just the opening scene. Chinese street food is the beating heart of flavor on the go. A loud, messy, delicious chaos that's like a culinary drive-by. And trust me, once you've tasted this, your boring sandwich lunch is going to feel like a betrayal. Let's kick it off with a vibe because Chinese street food is all about speed and sizzle. Imagine a bustling market, neon lights flickering, vendors shouting over the hiss of oil. And in seconds, you've got a snack so hot, it's steaming up your glasses. Compare that to Korean. Street food for a sec, because Korea's got tteokbokki, those spicy rice cakes swimming in red sauce, or fish cakes bobbing in broth, served from carts with a side of soju. It's cozy, it's spicy, like a street hug. Chinese street food, though, it's a sprint, a flavor explosion that hits you fast and leaves you grinning. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan's takoyaki are the street stars, little octopus balls cooked in molds. Drizzled with sauce, precise and cute. Chinese street food's rowdier. Grittier like a punk band jamming, while Japan's playing a tidy pop song. Now let's swing over to India because India's chaat is the street food rebel. Crispy, tangy, sweet, spicy, all mashed together in a glorious mess. Chinese street food might lean on soy and chili, but India's throwing a flavor parade with chutneys and masala. So quick poll, what's your street food vibe? Spicy, crunchy, or saucy? Drop in the comments, because I need to know who's hitting the streets with me. Let's zoom in on skewers, because Chinese street food loves a stick. Imagine chunks of lamb or chicken, dusted with cumin and chili, grilling over coals until they're smoky and juicy. Korea's got kochi, skewers with a sweet glaze. Japan's yakitori are simple, soy-dripped. India's sea kebabs are spiced to the heavens. Chinese skewers are bold, charred champs. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever burned your mouth on a skewer straight off the grill? I have. Total rookie move. Spill your street food blunders. Below, because we're bonding. Let's talk crepes because Chinese jianbing are street royalty. Picture a thin batter spread on a griddle, egg cracked on top, crunchy wonton bits, folded with sauce. It's breakfast on the fly. Korea's got no match. Japan's okonomiyaki is thicker. India's dosa is crispier. Chinese crepes are fast and fierce. And those visuals? Probably a flipping masterpiece. Let's hit fried goodies, because Chinese streets love a crunch. Think fried dough sticks or chicken, golden and snappy. Korea's Twijim is battered bliss. Japan's kushikatsu is skewered. India's pakoras are spice bombs. Chinese frying is loud. Quick check, crunchy street fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk noodles because street noodles are a grab-and-go dream. Tossed with chili oil, soy, or broth, slurp from a bowl. Korea's instant ramen carts, Japan's yatai ramen, India's Hakka stalls. Chinese street noodles are gritty. Oh, and what's your slurp style? Tell me. Now let's hit bun because Chinese baozi are portable perfection. Steamed, stuffed with pork or veggies. Korea's got nothing close. Japan's nikamon are cousins. India's Vada Pav is spicier. Chinese buns are street kings. And those visuals? Probably a steamy bun. Let's talk stinky stuff because Chinese streets get wild. Fermented tofu or fish, pungent and bold. Korea's sundae, Japan's kasaya, India's chutneys. Chinese stink is brave. Your fave funky food? Drop it. Now let's wrap this because Chinese street food is a flavor riot. Skewers smoke, crepes flip, noodles slurp. Korea's cozy, Japan's cute, India's chaotic. China's got it all. And those visuals? Street proof, so what's your street food love? Drop it below. Hit that like. And let's roll to Category 6. Alright, food comrades, we're steaming into Category 6. Rice. And, oh man, this is where Chinese food lays down its foundation, grabs a bowl, and says, I'm the glue holding this flavor party together. So get ready to scoop, savor, and maybe rethink every boring rice dish you've ever had. Those visuals piling up on your screen right now. They're probably showing a mountain of fluffy grains, sticky clumps glistening like jewels, or a sizzling stir-fry where rice is the star. And that's just the warm-up. Chinese rice is the unsung hero of the culinary world, the quiet champ that can go from sidekick to headliner in a heartbeat. And trust me, once you've tasted this, your instant packet rice is going to feel like a sad apology. Let's kick it off with the basics, because rice in Chinese cuisine is life. Imagine a pot steaming with grains so perfect they're fluffy yet firm, or sticky enough to grab with chopsticks, ready to soak up every sauce or broth you throw at it. Compare that to Korean. Food for a sec, because Korea's got its short grain rice, cooked sticky and served in bowls for bibimbap, that crispy bottomed masterpiece with veggies and egg. Chinese rice, though, it's the chameleon. It's everywhere. Steamed plain, fried with bits of everything, or rolled into sticky balls. Then there's Japan. Oh boy, Japan's sushi rice is the diva. Seasoned with vinegar and sugar, sticky as glue to hold every roll together. Chinese rice is grittier, less fussy, like a workhorse that doesn't need makeup. Now, let's swing over to India, because India's basmati is the fancy cousin, long, fragrant, and fluffy, starring in biryanis with spices that could wake up a coma patient. Chinese rice might lean on simplicity, but India is turning it into a spice opera. So, quick poll, what's your rice vibe? Sticky, fluffy, or fried? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's riding this rice wave with me. Let's zoom in on steamed rice, because that's the backbone. Picture a bowl of white. Grains hot and steaming. So pure it's like a blank canvas for soy or gravy. It's humble, it's perfect. Korea's got its plain rice too, Japan's got gohan, India's got jeera rice with cumin. Chinese steamed rice is the king of versatility. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever burned rice and pretended it was on purpose? I have. Total fail, spill your rice disasters below, because we're bonding. Let's talk fried rice. Because Chinese fried rice is a flavor bomb. Imagine cold rice hitting a wok oil. Popping, egg scrambling, veggies snapping, soy dripping. It's chaos in the best way. Korea's bibimbap is simpler, Japan's chahan is lighter, India's paleo is spicier. Chinese fried rice is the party king. And those visuals? Probably a sizzling wok. Let's hit sticky rice, because Chinese sticky rice is a sticky hug. Wrapped in leaves, stuffed with pork or beans, steamed until it's a chewy delight. Korea's got injeolmi. Japan's mochi. India's not big on sticky. Chinese sticky rice is a texture star. Quick check, sticky rice fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk rice porridge, because Chinese congee is soul food, simmered until creamy, topped with scallions or century eggs. Korea's juk is similar. Japan's okyu is plain. India's congee is tangy. Chinese congee is comfort. And those visuals? Probably a warm bowl. Let's hit rice noodles, because rice turns into strands too. Wide, flat, slippery, in soup or stir-fry. Korea's rare here. Japan's somen is thin. India's idiyappam is steamed. Chinese rice noodles shine. Oh, and what's your noodle rice vibe? Tell me. Now let's talk rice cakes, because Chinese niangao is a chewy treat. Steamed or fried, sweet or savory. Korea's tteok is everywhere. Japan's mochi is soft. India's not in this game. Chinese rice cakes are bold. And those visuals? Probably a chewy delight. Let's wrap this, because Chinese rice is a carb empire. Steamed, fried, sticky. Korea's cozy. Japan's precise. India's fancy. China's got it all. And those visuals? rice proof. So what's your rice love? Drop it below. Hit that like, and let's roll to Category 7. Alright, food carnivores, we're charging into Category 7. Meat mastery. And oh baby, this is where Chinese food flexes its protein prowess, grabs a cleaver, and turns meat into a masterpiece that'll make your mouth water and your inner caveman roar. So sharpen your chopsticks because we're about to feast those visuals slicing across your screen right now. They're probably showing a slab of pork crackling like glass, a duck glistening like a golden trophy, or some beef sizzling in a wok. And that's just the appetizer. Chinese meat mastery is the heavyweight champ of the culinary ring, taking pork, beef, chicken, and more, and cooking them into dishes so tender, so juicy, so downright delicious that your sad supermarket steak is going to feel like a personal insult. Let's kick it off with pork because Chinese cuisine worships the pig like it's royalty. Imagine a hunk of belly braised for hours in soy, star anise, and sugar until it melts like butter, or ribs roasted until the skin snaps like a drum. Compare that to Korean food for a sec, because Korea's got samgyeopsal, thick pork belly grilled at the table, smoky and fatty with a sesame dip. Chinese pork, though, it's the marathon champ. Braised, roasted, stir-fried, every method's a knockout. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan's tonkatsu is the pork prince breaded and fried to a golden crunch, served with a tangy sauce. Chinese pork's louder, messy, eh? Like a flavor brawl, while Japan's keeping it crisp and classy. Now let's swing over to India, because India's pork vindaloo is the spicy rebel, stewed with vinegar and chilies until it a fiery kick. Chinese pork might lean on soy and sweetness, but India's throwing a spice tantrum. So, quick poll, what's your meat of choice? Pork, beef, or chicken? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's riding this meat train with me. Let's zoom in on roast pork because Chinese char siu is a sticky dream. Picture pork shoulder glazed with honey, hoisin, and soy roasted until it's red-edged and juicy. Korea's got bulgogi, grilled thin. Japan's yakitori is skewered. India's tandoori is spiced. Chinese roast pork is a glossy king. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever burned meat and called it extra crispy? I have total fail. Spill your meat mishaps below because we're bonding. Let's talk stir-fried meat because Chinese woks turn meat into magic. Beef or chicken, sliced thin, tossed with garlic, ginger, and chilies. It's fast, it's fierce. Korea's kalbi is spicy. Japan's teppanyaki is showy. India's keema is earthy. Chinese stir-fry is a flavor sprint. And those visuals? Probably a sizzling wok. Let's hit braised meat because Chinese red-cooked pork is soul food, simmered until it's fall-apart tender, dark and rich. Korea's galbajim is sweet. Japan's nikujiga is light. India's korma is creamy. Chinese braising is deep. Quick check, tender meat fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk duck because Chinese roast duck is a crispy legend. Skin shattering, meat succulent, glazed to perfection. Korea's rare here. Japan's kamo is simpler. India's not duck heavy. Chinese duck reigns. And those visuals? Probably a golden bird. Let's hit chicken because Chinese kung pao is a spicy star, diced stir-fried with peanuts and chilies. Korea's dakdoratang stews, Japan's carriage fries, India's tikka grills. Chinese chicken is bold. Oh, and what's your chicken vibe? Tell me now. Let's talk beef because Chinese beef noodles are hearty, braised or stir. Fried, chewy, and rich. Korea's yukajang is spicy. Japan's jjigae is fast. India's nahari is slow. Chinese beef is a champ. And those visuals? Probably a beefy bowl. Let's wrap this because Chinese meat mastery is a flavor empire. Pork melts, duck cracks, beef shines. Korea's smoky, Japan's crisp, India's spicy. China's got it all. And those visuals? Meat proof. So what's your meat love? Drop it below. Hit that like, and let's roll to Category 8. Alright, Food Sea Dogs, we're splashing into Category 8, seafood. And oh my gosh, this is where Chinese food dives in the ocean, hooks some treasures, and turns them into dishes so fresh and flavorful you'll wish you had gills just to keep up. So grab a net, because we're about to reel in some serious deliciousness. Those visuals swimming across your screen right now, they're probably showing a fish steaming with ginger, shrimp sizzling like they're auditioning for a wok opera, or maybe a crab, claw waving hello from a spicy sauce. And that's just the bait. Chinese seafood is the salty, briny superstar of the culinary seas, taking fish, shrimp, clams, and more, and cooking them into bites so succulent, so bold, your frozen fish sticks are going to feel like a betrayal. Let's kick it off with steamed fish because Chinese cuisine turns swimming critters into art. Imagine a whole fish, scales off, steaming with scallions and soy until it's so tender it flakes with a whisper. Compare that to Korean food for a sec, because Korea's got ho, raw fish sliced thin and dipped in spicy sauce, fresh but fierce. Chinese steamed fish, though, it's the gentle giant, steamed to perfection, light and clean. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan sashimi is the seafood sensei. Fish so fresh, it's practically still swimming, sliced with samurai precision. Chinese seafood's louder, steamier, like a fisherman's tale, while Japan's whispering purity. Now, let's swing over to India, because India's fish curry is the spicy sailor, simmered in coconut milk and chilies until it's a flavor storm. Chinese steamed fish might lean on ginger and soy, but India's throwing a masala party. So, quick poll, what's your seafood catch? Fish, shrimp, or crab? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's sailing the sea with me. Let's zoom in on stir-fried shrimp because Chinese woks make shellfish sing. Picture shrimp, peeled and plump, tossed with garlic, chilies, and oil, sizzling until they're pink and juicy. Korea's got sobakyum, spicy and stir-fried. Japan's ebi fry is breaded, crunchy. India's prawn masala is fiery. Chinese shrimp is a quick, bold splash. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever overcooked shrimp in a rubber? I have. Total flop. Spill your seafood sins below, because we're bonding. Let's talk crab because Chinese crab is a clawsome treat, steamed with black bean sauce or stir-fried with spice. Claws cracking with flavor. Korea's gajang is raw, marinated. Japan's kani is simple. India's crab curry is rich. Chinese crab is a briny boss. And those visuals? Probably a crabby delight. Let's hit clams because Chinese clams are slurpy stars, stir-fried with funky beans or chili. Korea's jovi gui grills. Japan's asari soup steams. India's not big here. Chinese clams pop. Quick check, shellfish fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk squid because Chinese squid is a chewy champ, grilled, fried, or stir-fried with peppers. Korea's ojinjyo is spicy. Japan's ikeyaki is smoky. India's calamari is spiced. Chinese squid is wild. Oh, and what's your squid vibe? Tell me. Now let's hit fish balls because Chinese seafood gets bouncy. Ground fish roll boiled. Korea's iamuk is similar. Japan's kamaboko is firm. India's rare here. Chinese fish balls are fun. And those visuals. Probably a bouncy bowl. Let's talk sauces because Chinese seafood swims in them. Soy oyster chili. Korea's gochujang, Japan's ponzu, India's tamarind, Chinese sauces shine. And those visuals? Saucy. Proof. So what's your seafood love? Drop it below, hit that like, and let's roll to Category 9. Alright, food sweethearts, we're gliding into Category 9, sweets and desserts, and oh honey, this is where Chinese food trades its wok for a sugar wand, sprinkles some magic, and turns the table into a candy-coated dreamland. So grab a spoon, because we're about to get sticky. Those visuals dancing across your screen right now, they're probably showing a glistening treat, maybe something gooey and golden, or a fluffy bite dusted with sweetness. And that's just the teaser. Chinese sweets and desserts are the sneaky stars of the show, slipping in after the spice and savory to steal your heart with flavors so subtle, so delightful. Your store-bought cookies are going to feel like a sugar scam. Let's kick it off with the vibe because Chinese desserts aren't here to knock you out with sweetness. They're the quiet charmers. Imagine a sticky rice treat, soft and chewy, or a sesame ball that crunches then melts. Compare that to Korean food for a sec because Korea's got tteok, those rice. Cakes drizzled with honey or red bean, chewy and sweet like a hug. Chinese sweets, though, they're the marathoners, subtle, balanced, not punching you with sugar. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan's ogashi are the dessert divas, tiny sculptures of bean paste and mochi. So pretty you almost don't want to eat them. Chinese desserts are humbler, stickier, like a cozy campfire story. Now, let's swing over to India, because India's gulab jamun are the sugar sultans, deep-fried dough balls soaked in syrup, until they're a sweet coma. Chinese sweets might lean on sesame and rice, but India is throwing a syrup-soaked party. So, quick poll, what's your sweet spot? Sticky, fluffy, or syrupy? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's indulging with me. Let's zoom in on sesame balls because these Chinese treats are a crunchy dream. Picture dough rolled with red bean or lotus paste, coated in sesame seeds. Fried until golden and crackly. Korea's hadiak is a sweet pancake. Japan's imigawayaki is. Softer, India's malpua is syrupy. Chinese sesame balls are a texture king. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever eaten too many sweets and regretted nothing? I have sugar rush chaos. Spill your dessert binges below, because we're bonding. Let's talk sticky rice sweets because Chinese niangao is a chewy champ, steamed or fried, sweet and stretchy. Korea's injeolmi is dusted. Japan's mochi is pure, India's rare here. Chinese sticky rice is a sweet star. And those visuals? Probably a gooey treat. Let's hit egg tarts because Chinese custard tarts are flaky bliss. Buttery crust, silky custard. Korea's got no match. Japan's purin is jiggly. India's kheer is creamier. Chinese tarts are a delicate win. Quick check, pastry fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk sweetened soups because Chinese dessert soups are cozy. Red bean or mung bean, warm and smooth. Korea's patbingsu is icy. Japan's shiruko is thick. India's payasam is spiced. Chinese soups are gentle. And those visuals, probably a warm bowl. Let's hit candied fruit because Chinese tonghalu is a crunchy jewel. Fruit skewered, dipped in hard sugar. Korea's got candied sweet potatoes. Japan's rare here. India's jalebi's twist. Chinese candied fruit snaps. Oh, and what's your candy vibe? Tell me. Now let's talk mooncakes because Chinese mooncakes are festive royalty. Flaky or soft, stuffed with yolk or paste. Korea's songpyeon is simpler. Japan's manju is light. India's modak is spiced. Chinese mooncakes shine. And those visuals? Probably a festive treat. Let's wrap this because Chinese sweets are a flavor empire. Sesame crunches, rice sticks, tarts glow. Korea's chewy. Japan's pretty. India's rich. China's got it all. And those visuals? Sweet proof. So what's your dessert love? Drop it below, hit that like, and let's roll to Category 10. All right, food cozy crew, we're simmering into Category 10, soups and broths. And oh wow, this is where Chinese food grabs a pot, turns up the warmth, and serves up liquid love, so comforting it'll make you want to hug your bowl. So grab a spoon, because we're about to get soupy. Those visuals bubbling across your screen right now. They're probably showing a steamy broth, maybe with noodles swirling, veggies bobbing, or a rich stock shimmering like gold. And that's just a starter. Chinese soups and broths are the soul-warming champs of the culinary world, taking bones, herbs, and spices and simmering them into slurpable hugs that'll make your canned soup feel like a sad imposter. Let's kick it off with the essence, because Chinese soups are all about depth. Imagine a pot simmering for hours, pork bones or chicken giving their all, star anise, and ginger floating in like flavor fairies, until every sip's a revelation. Compare that to Korean food for a sec, because Korea's got jjigae, spicy, stews with kimchi or tofu, bubbling with red pepper heat. Chinese soups, though, they're the marathoners, clear and light or thick and hearty. Every style's a winner. Then there's Japan. Oh man, Japan's miso soup is the Zen master, cloudy with fermented paste, seaweed, and tofu. Simple, but soulful. Chinese broths are busier, bolder, like a storyteller spinning a yarn, while Japan's whispering calm. Now, let's swing over to India, because India's rasam is the tangy trickster, peppery, sour with. Tamarind, a spicy wake-up call. Chinese soups might lean on ginger and scallions, but India's throwing a sour spice party. So quick poll, what's your soup vibe? Spicy, soothing, or hearty? Drop in the comments because I need to know who's sipping with me. Let's zoom in on clear broths because Chinese clear soups are pure magic. Picture a stock so light it's like drinking silk, maybe with a few greens or a meat sliver. Korea's sialeongtang is milky, Japan's dashi is umami gold, India's rare. Here, Chinese clear broths are clean kings. Oh, and quick confession, have you ever burned your tongue on hot soup? I have. Total rookie. Spill your soup slip-ups below, because we're bonding. Let's talk noodle soups because Chinese broths love noodles. long strands swimming in pork or beef stock, spiced or mild. Korea's kalguksu is cozy. Japan's ramen is legendary. India's thukpa is rare. Chinese noodle soup is a slurp fest. And those visuals? Probably a steamy bowl. Let's hit herbal soups because Chinese medicine meets flavor. Ginseng, goji berries, simmering for health. Korea's samjitang is herbal. Japan's rare here. India's shorba is spiced. Chinese herbal soup glows. Quick check, broth fans, where you at? Drop a thumbs up. Let's talk thick soups because Chinese congee is a creamy star. Rice porridge is slow cooked, topped with egg or pork. Korea's juk is similar. Japan's oku is plain. India's congee is tangy. Chinese congee is comfort. And those visuals? Probably a warm hug. Let's hit spicy. Broths because Chinese heat simmers too. Chilies and peppercorns bubbling. Korea's yukajang is fiery. Japan's tantan is rare. India's raisin kicks. Chinese spicy broth burns bright. Oh, and what's your heat level? Tell me. Now let's talk seafood soups because Chinese fish or shrimp broth shine. Light, briny, fresh. Korea's hameltang is spicy. Japan's quesadilla is shared. India's prawn soup is rich. Chinese seafood soup is a wave. And those visuals? Probably a briny bowl. Let's wrap this because Chinese soups are a flavor empire. Clear, thick, spicy. Korea's bold. Japan's calm. India's tangy. China's got it all. And those visuals? Soup proof. So what's your soup love? Drop it below. Hit that like and let's wrap this feast.